Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Taylor Seminars. My name is Hannah, and I'm here with my beautiful co-host, Exquisite. Would you like to say hi?
Hi, Hannah. We're back.
We're so back.
We're so back. What if I told you we're back?
Yeah. This is where we talk about how Taylor Swift turns life into poetry, and we are back now with the anthology tracks, which is crazy. We've done the standard album, and now we're ready to go all the way to track 31.
Which is, oh my goodness. It's like exhausting, but in a good way. Like, oh my God. You just when we thought it was over, we knew four more songs existed because we knew they were on CDs. But I remember looking at like the Spotify hinted lyrics we had gotten, and I was like, some of these aren't on the main album when I listened to that. And I remember someone had tweeted that and Taylor Nation quote tweeted them and was like, that's weird.
I remember it was Oomph. It was Delphine, folklore fairy girl. She tweeted that, and then Taylor Nation quote tweeted her, and we were all like, "Yeah, where
And what
is
does that
even
mean?
statues crumble when they're made to wait?" Right? Like that's
It-
clearly like a Taylor line that we would have picked up on right away, but once we got to the album, we're like,
yeah.
"Where is that?"
Or the we hereby conduct this post mortem.
Yeah,
Like low key, it could have been lyrics or it could have just been like, okay, time to start. But we were like, where is that?
yeah,
Hmm.
especially because there was multiple lyrics. Like if it was just that line, it would have been like, "Oh, like this is like a another thesis of the album that she's like putting out there for
Yeah,
us to
or
use."
like come one, come all, it's happening again. Like, whoa,
Yeah,
where's that lyric?
yeah,
Yeah.
that's wild.
So, and I remember staying up because I was on Zoom with my friends. And we've been doing this since Fearless TV. We not even fear since Evermore. We get on Zoom and we have a listening party because this was deep pandemic. So we were up at 2 a.m. and then we saw that post and we were like, wait a minute, what's happening? And like, it was so much different than the 3 a.m. midnight surprise where that was like five songs. Taylor was like, hello, this is another album track. It's a double. It is the anthology. Um, and part of what I want to say about the anthology, while the first if we consider the first album, the first half of the album, the original, that goes from Fortnite all the way to Clairbow, then you have the anthology. And the thing about anthologies or like short stories collections is that there are extra information that maybe didn't fit the whole thing or all different short stories that can like range in theme. And I really see like I can see why every song in the anthology is on the anthology and not the main album. Um,
Yeah, I'm of the mind that like the main album tells such a cohesive story.
exactly.
It goes from beginning to end. I think it's so strong. And the anthology basically is like almost like footnotes. Like she's like,
Yep.
and or like when Tolkien does like all his like appendices at the end of Lord of the Rings.
Exactly.
That's their
Exactly.
own giant histories. Like that's what
Exactly.
I feel like.
The anthology is like the footnotes, it's the bonus materials. It's like this is also things I had to get out. And the Black Dog, it's very interesting to me that of the four we knew existed, when she ordered it, she said the Black Dog has to come first in this new track ordering.
Yeah, that was the
Um,
thing too. Like the anthology tracks were all kind of mixed, right? It wasn't just
mhm.
like tacked on. And then she obviously still cared about where the tracks were placed, and the Black Dog was first.
Also, I just love the fact that the Black Dog and I'm gonna get you back are back to back. Um, because before this is probably going to segue rightly into getting into what the Black Dog is about. But in I'm going to get you back, she walks into a bar dressed in her hottest outfit to either get revenge or fall back into bed, and the Black Dog is her seeing the bar he's at. So I love the like
Yeah,
I love the like continuity of that, of her being like seeing the bar he's at, needing an exorcism, and being like, I'm going there. I will be there. Let me get dressed.
All right, so let's get into the Black Talk. Oh, but before we do, I just wanted to really quickly note the Taylor Seminars has opened a tip jar at Ko-Fi. So if you go to
Mm,
our, we'll put the link in the show notes too. But if you also go to our Twitter, you'll be able to find the link. So if you just want to like give us like a little coffee money or whatever, like we would greatly appreciate it.
yeah.
But yeah, let's go back to the song. So, oh, hold on. I will go first, as always. So,
Yes.
scrolling. All right. I am someone who, until recent events, you shared your secrets with, and your location. You forgot to turn it off. And so I watch as you walk into some bar called the Black Dog and pierce new holes in my heart. You forgot to turn it off, and it hits me. Should I just keep going?
Yeah.
I just don't understand how you don't miss me in the Black Dog when someone plays the starting line and you jump up, but she's too young to know this song that was intertwined in the magic fabric of our dreaming. Old habits die screaming.
I love the way, and when we were doing Clairbout, we forgot to talk about like performances because there was so much. But even here, I love the way she performs this song because it opens up where you can tell like you're like, oh, she is not in a good place. Like she's not good. And then the old habits start die screaming. She literally is screaming. Like it's great. It's
Yeah,
great. It's great.
it's yeah. I mean, yeah. Let's just go back from the beginning. So like, well, actually, let's go back to the title. So this is the Black Dog. We forgot to do this.
Yeah.
It is produced by Jack and Taylor.
Hmm.
And I think Taylor actually plays the piano in this song, if
Yeah.
I recall correctly, which is
Hmm.
crazy because usually she leaves the piano playing to someone else, but
Yeah.
um, she does
She
it.
had
And
for this one.
someone pointed this out. I think it was on Tumblr somewhere. I cannot find the post, but they were like, it's crazy because we know that someone else, Joseph, played piano for Evermore, right?
Yeah.
This track. And maybe another song, I can't remember, but the fact that she plays this song I think is very
And
significant.
for he started the piano line on Exile,
Oh yeah,
and that's where
he started it and
yeah,
then someone else recorded it, I think.
yeah,
But for her to really show off amazing piano playing skills, which she's done throughout tour and also here. And so I think that's a really powerful
yeah.
statement.
And also it kind of like because we'll get into this later, but it kind of like works on this reclamation theme that's kind of in here, or like we'll get into it, and now I will circle back to this, but there is this theme of taking back all her stuff, including her piano.
Yep.
Um, that's in this song a little later on. But yeah, I love this opening. And I will say this. I will say the Black Dog, and this is I feel like this is controversial but non-controversial, is definitely on the level of the super specific but ultimately universal breakup song as like an all too well. Like that's what the Black Dog is. It's
Mm,
super specific. She's like until recent events you shared everything with me and your location, and then you didn't turn it off, so I'm watching you now.
mm-hmm. Yeah.
And who hasn't stalked? Who hasn't? If it's still on and you notice it's still on, do you remove it yourself or do you like zoom in and see what they're doing?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Um, and so we have, yeah, you, I would totally watch. It's like even if you like, you don't block them they don't block you on Instagram or
Yeah,
vice versa, and then you watch their stories, right? Like that's very universal in our day and age.
exactly.
And so she
Exactly.
watches, and it's crazy because like, so I watch as you walk, right? So she's like, not just like opening it and being like, oh, look, that's where he is. It's like she saw him like go into, like, see
Yeah.
the little thing, like move in into some bar called the Black Dog. And it's so, this line is so sad. And pierce new holes in my heart. Like I already had wounds, and now there's
Yep.
more because I see you maybe like living a life that I'm
Yeah.
not a part of anymore. She's looking
And
in
then
other people's windows.
literally, yes. And then the part that really gets me the and it hits me, I just don't understand, is that she starts there's this imagining that happens because from just watching a location, you don't know what they're doing in there, and it hits her. She's like, "Oh my God, he's on a date." like, this is a date. This
Yeah.
is a date.
Yeah. And I think the repetition, so in poetry and songwriting, repetition is really important.
Mm,
Unless they're lazy. But usually it's very important where you forgot to turn it off. Like it's not in the beginning. It's like, oh, like you forgot to turn it off, so I can like see you. But to me, the
yeah.
second one is like, oh, like you
It's
didn't
like,
even
oh my God, you didn't even think about me enough to turn it
exactly. You didn't
off.
think about me. Like I'm literally a for like it doesn't. It wasn't like
Yep.
oh shoot, like I remembered her. I have to remember to turn it off. It's like I've
But they
completely been.
left in such a way that it was like there wasn't even a like they weren't thinking of everything that they had shared
Yes.
enough to be like, oh yeah, I also share my location. And that's why that next part of I just don't understand how you don't miss me.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's like if you miss me enough, you would have checked for me everywhere, including in the locations you shared.
Yep. Oh my gosh, it's so. Yeah, how you don't miss me in the black when someone plays the starting line. Um. So. Um. So the starting line. She has never confirmed this, but it seems to be this a band which I actually listen to. So that's why like it's very millennial. Um. Is and so they play this song that's was very popular when like I was in high school back then. And so you jump up because you're so excited. Millennials get very excited when we hear songs we love from our, middle school, high school era. But she doesn't know this song. She's like not from my generation. She's our generation, and
Yeah.
that makes her feel miserable.
She's too young to.
Yeah.
And then the part that like this song that was intertwined in the magic fabric of our dreaming. So whatever the song is, and I like to imagine that you know how bars will have like if anybody's been to a bar recently, if you're old enough to go to a bar, like touch tunes where you can get the app and see what song is playing in the bar. I'd like to imagine that she saw that it was like a song that was like important to them. It was like, oh my God, it's our song playing in the bar as well.
Which reminds me
And
of
it's like,
Hits Different. Each bar plays our song.
yeah,
Nothing has ever felt so wrong.
literally, each bar plays our song. And for her, nothing had ever felt so wrong. But for him, he's jumping up with his date.
Yep. I hear
And
some
so,
black
yeah,
dogs in your background. Exquisite.
God. Yeah, but it was in the magic fabric of our dreaming. So that whole like the magic fabric of our dreaming is so interesting to me because she is still idealizing it, you know?
Hmm.
Yeah.
Do you know what that reminds me of? The magic fabric.
Sad, beautiful, tragic.
Okay, yes, that too. So I think later she does bring up.
Yeah,
She
she
sings
changed it.
to
But
tragic fabric of our dreaming.
what does
So
it remind you of?
yeah, but it reminds me of the tapestry that they shred.
No, no. Why would you say that?
I was waiting.
Why would you say that?
Um, she would have made such a lovely bride. What a shame she's fucked in the head, they said. But you'll find the real thing instead. She'll patch up your tapestry that I shred. But in this version, it's like flipped, right? He shredded the magic fabric,
Yeah.
and so old habits die screaming.
Okay. Um, Here we go. I move through the world with the heart broken, my longing stands spoken, and I may never open up the way I did for you. In all of those best laid plans, you said I needed a brave man, then proceeded to play him until I believed it too. And it kills me. I just don't understand how you don't miss me in the shower and remember how my rain soaked body was shaking. Do you hate me? Was it hazing? For a cruel fraternity I pledged, and I still mean it. Old habits die screaming.
Oof.
I know.
No, like Taylor's always known for her amazing her second verses somehow have extra magic. They just go up a level. Like a lot of times second verses I think are forgettable, like but
Yep.
with hers they're not. Like what do you mean? Like
Like, what do you mean? Oh, we just have to start from that first part that I moved through the world with the heartbroken. She's like, I am not, I'm doing it with a broken heart. Like I'm broken. Like I have to, and I am aligning with the other people who are heartbroken. They get me. I'm moving through the world with them. I'm
Mm-hmm.
living like they are.
Yeah, and it's like
Um,
I'm on a separate track than all the people who are living
exactly.
happy lives. Like I'm literally in another world.
I am in another dimension. Like I'm walking and I no, I can't connect with people. And she even says this. She says it literally the next two lines of my longings stay unspoken. So she doesn't speak what she wants anymore
Yeah, I
because
think
last
it's
time it happened.
going back to Hits Different, right? Where she says, like, I slur your name till someone puts me in a car. I stop receiving invitations, right? It's this, if you're
Yep, nobody's
heartbroken,
getting out no more.
yeah, nobody wants to be with her because
They don't want to hang out with you.
all she wants to do is pine and cry, which understandably, right? Um,
Yeah, and so that's why her longing for him or for the life they could have had, she can't speak about it because when she talks about it, she ruins the vibes.
yeah, and she wants, and there's always, putting on a brave face. People say like, oh, like, um, how are you doing? And people are like, oh, I'm fine. I'm sad, but I'm fine. But, you don't want to burden
But I'm good.
people. It's crazy.
Yeah. You don't want to burden, she don't want to be a burden. And then again, she continues goes, and I may never open up the way I did for you. That's just heartbreaking because she felt like she was so open and so like getting over a lot of her fears and her walls that she had put up, you know?
Yeah, and like it is so in a long-term relationship especially, you do get so vulnerable, right? And like
Yep.
if you hurt me and you leave these scars, then what if I never want to be exposed to get hurt again? And then we have
Yeah.
all those best laid plans, which when I
My
heard
best laid plans,
it
your
might
sliding hand.
my
How
barren land, I am ash to your fire. No, like this was this was like such a crazy reference.
I know, especially because in Hoax, like while she's singing Hoax, like again, my barren land, I am ash to your fire. She was basically like, if you burn me, I will still love you and be that ash, you know? So she's like, you're tearing up my best laid plans anyway, like in Hoax, and she still is like, maybe that's love, like loving in that sadness. Like your faithless love is the only hoax I believe in. And so she references all of that in this one line of all those best laid plans.
Yeah, and I would say even the best laid plans reminds me of her saying that she's the mastermind, right? That she's planned all
Mm-hmm.
these things like
Uh-huh.
that. Granted, there's that twist in the song that like maybe you knew the whole time, but still, like all those and all those plans we've made in general, right? Like
Exactly.
that we've have made with the best of intentions. And she's like
The plan,
looking at them and like she's like,
the
what
life.
what happened? Uh,
Exactly.
you said I needed a brave man, right? Like,
Which reminds me of literally LOML.
oh yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. Yep. It's all so tragic,
and
isn't it?
and then proceeded to play him until I believed it too, right? Like this, like, and LML he says
Yep.
the coward claimed he was a lion, right? Like that's like the LML line. But then and also I feel like to play him, it could also be like a play on the words, like an actor, like acting, like pretending. Um,
Yep.
and now
Then
it,
proceed to play him until I believed it too. Like literally, it's like you coaxed me out of my shell. Okay, do you remember that? And I feel like I brought it up before, and I'm pretty sure I brought it up in LOML. The poem that she wrote for Reputation, where she was like, she was sidestepping get love quick schemes until she met someone who was like braver and was a love standing broad shouldered next to her, right? Um, and it's like in here, she's like, you said I needed a brave man, someone who would, sit broad shouldered next to me or whatever. And so you proceeded to do that and play him to act as one
yeah,
until I was coaxed out of my shell and believed you. And that that right there is so painful. Just those two lines until I believed it too. And it kills me.
yeah,
Like it kills her that one, she believed him, and it kills her that she just doesn't understand what the hell happened.
yep.
Ugh.
I think it's your turn.
Well, I had already read it, so we're
Oh,
gonna keep going.
oh,
So
okay,
like,
that's right. You're right. I
and
I just don't understand
how
how
you
you
don't
don't miss in the showers.
again
So I feel like
like
it's this is a very intimate scene, right? Where like
mhm,
again, long-term relationship where um and then that rain shower imagery is continuing the next line, how my rain-soaked body was shaking. There's like a memory of them in the rain
mhm.
where she was cold and shaking.
Yep. Do you hate me? Was it hazing? These two lines, I need y'all to know. They ricochet in my head all over the place. Do you hate me? Was it hazing? Because it brings me back to So Long London, where she was like holding tight to your quiet resentment. So again, this relationship she was in, she's like the whole time, did you like were you how long were you hating me? Like, and hazing is she it's a was it hazing for a cruel fraternity I pledge. So hazing is what happens when a lot of people join fraternities or sororities. Technically it's illegal, not even technically, it's 100% like illegal, you're not supposed to do it, but it's when they torture the people who want to be a part of them.
Yeah.
So she's like, were you torturing me um
So I could
so we
join.
so we could be together? Like, is that what that was? Like, she's and the questions of it, like, do you hate me? Like, she needs to know. This is part of the reason why she can't stop thinking about it. She's like, I need to know if you hated me. I needed to know if you were doing this for your own like sick need for power in order for me to be a part of you. Because also the whole hazing thing is a power thing. It's a power. It's about power
Yeah.
and control.
So the way that that fraternities and sororities will justify hazing is like, A, I went through it too, which is a stupid reason. And B, it's like, oh, it's to bond you guys together so that we're like, we all have been through the same
Yep.
experience. It makes us get closer together. But it actually leads to trauma. It can lead to
Yep.
death. It can lead to permanent injury.
Yep.
And then sometimes you pledge and then you go through that and they still don't accept you.
Exactly. And also, I would like to say this is once again, we are back in this violence. Like the was it hazing for a cruel fraternity I pledge? It's violent, including and even that like my rain-soaked body was shaking. And again, that image of like being like soaked to your core, cold, shaking, and it's like, was that a hazing routine? Did you enjoy seeing me shaking and crying for you? Like what?
Yeah, I like all the questions in this are so good. Like, don't you miss me? Don't you remember? And then that flip to, do you hate me? Was it hazing? And then the violence continues. Old habits die screaming. And we didn't cover that a lot in the first run through. But what do you think? Like, what does that mean to you? And if you don't know, Taylor released a voice memo where she did like the first draft of this song, and she actually called the song "Old Habits Die Screaming." The Black Dog title came later.
And I know the original like say because this is a Swiftism because it's when like a Swiftism for those who don't remember me saying this it's like when she takes an idiom and flips it. So typically the idiom is old habits die hard, which means it's just difficult to stop doing something you've been doing for a long time. And for Taylor, she flips it and goes, old habits die screaming, which just is like they die terrified and hurt and in a whole lot of pain.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because the old habits in this case being all the habits that they had in this relationship. Like
Yep.
if you just imagine,
Oh,
right? Like let's say like the morning routine for a couple was like they wake up together, they make coffee together, and then they read the paper together. But then all of a sudden she's broken up with, she wakes up, no one's made the coffee, right? The paper is still downstairs, right? And it's just like this agony every time you're reminded of like these habits that you had. And I
mhm.
think that's actually like comes out here, like how you don't miss me in the shower. Like that was probably a habit that they had, right? Or if
Or listen to the starting line.
yeah, listening to the starting line, right? Like it's and so they're dying and they're dying like painfully, like you
It's
said.
not a painless. It's and it's not even just painful, it's excruciating.
Yeah.
And the way the drums kick in as she's yelling. Wow.
And then
Wow.
yeah, and then we go to the bridge where it kind of pulls back. 6 weeks of breathing clean air. I still miss the smoke. Were you making fun of me with some esoteric joke? Now I want to sell my house and set fire to all my clothes and hire a priest to come and exorcise my demons, even if I die screaming, and I hope you hear it. Oh, let's just stop there.
Yeah, yeah. Because okay, let's like there's a lot to unpack. Taylor will again, this is this moment of ultra specificity where she's like, it's been 6 weeks and I am breathing in clean air. So 6 weeks of being away from you. 6 weeks just because you're clean don't mean you don't miss it. She's like, I still miss the smoke. Because again, what was that in the one song? Oh my God. Clearing the air, I breathe in the smoke.
Daylight.
Daylight. Even then she's like, I miss that. I miss having to clear the air with you. Um, I miss breathing in that smoke, which is crazy. She misses something that hurt her, by the
Mm-hmm.
way. Like she's finally breathing in proper oxygen and she's like, this is not what I want. It's been a month and a half and I don't want the proper oxygen. I
Which
want
is crazy because like if you've ever been in like a smoke filled room, right? Like it's
Mhm.
not comfortable, especially if you're not really a smoker, right? And to like and yet to want to go back into that stuffy, oppressive atmosphere is
literally
crazy.
oppressive and it is like actively killing you if you are getting secondhand, and missing that. And then the fact that she openly says it, because all the other moments of miss, she's like, I don't understand how you don't miss me. And then she comes back and she explains it because she's like, I still miss the harm you caused me. I still miss that. So I don't understand how you don't, right?
Yeah, and like smoke is like she's used it also in like the song The Archer, right? The room is on fire, invisible smoke. Um, about like that's like like that's more about her anxiety in general, but it is like this like idea of like um yeah, being in a harmful place that she should want to escape from, like she doesn't want to breathe in the smoke from invisible smoke, but in this case, yeah, she does want to relive it, which is crazy.
Yeah. And then it goes the line, were you making fun of me with some esoteric joke?
Yeah,
Esoteric is like an inside joke. Like she's like, do you have inside jokes about me with other people? Like,
that you're telling
like
other people.
exactly. Like, were you like, is that what you were doing? Like you hated was what I was so much you were like making fun of me. What is that? What is the anti-hero verse Jack adds? The
The
um
Art Bros one.
yeah. Seems like everybody is an art bro lady lately. Oh my God. Talking shit about your famous baby.
Yeah, yeah,
Um, were you making fun of me with some esoteric joke?
yeah. I wonder if like her looking back now in the song, she was like, wait, were those things you said like actually like not like
Exactly.
yeah, like not actually like good things? Were these backhanded or like secretly were you resenting me this whole time and you were just trying to cover it up with these like
Yeah, and then it
jokes?
goes back to that hazing thing. Okay, you know that TikTok trend, and I don't know if you know it, but it's like the people are saying, "Give me my money," and everybody's cheering, and there's one person who they make go last, and they don't get cheered for. And the joke, literally that's the whole joke. Like the whole joke is that you don't cheer for the last person.
Yeah,
And
to
you
set up the last person.
Yeah, you set up the last person and not be cheered for. And they don't understand what's about to happen. And I imagine in this situation that it's the speaker, it's Taylor being like roped in and they're like, okay, let's do this. And then everybody's laughing at her because she didn't get the chairs. Like she didn't get the joke. Or like the if you're ever with somebody, if they have inside jokes with other people and you're like, oh, that's just an inside joke they have, and you don't realize until way later that was always at your expense, like, and the fact that you didn't get it was on purpose. She's like, that was that hazing. Was that what you
No,
making fun of me?
but imagine like if that's like so let's look at her mindset, right? So she misses the smoke. She's like, I missed that. And then she has a turn. Wait, were you making
Mhm.
fun of like now she's like seeing these cracks like like
Came back with that.
and like
Like,
I
wait
feel
a minute.
yeah, and like I would feel so embarrassed, so hurt, so
I know.
like everything she built on the like the foundation was made of sand, right? it just collapsed. And so what happens now? Now she's like, wait, everything around me is crumbled. I want to sell my house. Like, I want to get out of here.
And I need to burn my clothes. It's not just selling the house. She's like, I need to set fire to everything you could have ever touched.
Yep.
And that includes my clothes. I need to set fire to all my clothes. And she has mentioned this idea of burning everything in Fresh Out the Slammer. She threw the ashes off the ledge. Um she's like, I have to burn it. I just have to burn it because that's the only way I'm going to be free. And in fact, that's not the only way I can be free. Because not only do I need to get rid of my house, burn everything inside, I also need to hire a priest.
No, so if you don't know, so in Catholic practice, if you are possessed by a demon, you would have a priest come and perform what's called an exorcism, where they will um, remove the demon using the power of Christ and through ritual, whether it's like holy water or words. It
And
has
it's like film, it's always like painful.
In film, it's very painful. I've never seen an exorcism in real life, so I've only seen media
Yeah.
depictions. But it's in media depictions. It is also seen as very like painful in a way because like the demon does not want to come out, so the demon will like try to have the body be thrown violently, like here and there. They'll have to tie it down, or like people are holding down the person, and it's like it's not pretty. It's a very violent, once again,
Yep.
image.
Yep. And again, he goes, even if I die. So even if I'm the demon, it's got to happen. Like, even if I kill myself about this.
Yeah, yeah. No, so actually, I think this actually comes back to Sad, Beautiful, Tragic, which we mentioned a little bit earlier, where we talked about how. Before we, well, we'll come back to that. But in Sad, Beautiful, Tragic, she says, "And you've got your demons, and darling, they all look like me." Like she's called herself a demon before. So like in this case, like when you can read it two ways. One is that like to exorcise my demons, and within this process, all of them are exorcised, but I die because it was so violent. I could
Yeah.
also see it written as like maybe I'm my own demon, and so when
Yeah.
I'm exorcised, I will be killed, and that's okay. I feel like it's very this idea of like I'm in so much pain. Did I cause the pain? Who's to blame? Like all of this stuff is like mixed in together, and even if I die screaming, it's just a part of
And
that.
then and then it also like the flip from old habits die screaming to even if I die screaming implies that she's also the old habit.
Exactly. Yeah. Ugh, that's just so
And
sad.
I don't hear it.
I hope you hear it. Like the
Like,
scream
you
is so
are me.
loud and so it's so painful that I need you who has forgotten me, right? You who has forgotten that you had the location on. You who's walking into this bar. I need you to feel the pain that you have caused me.
I had a thought that
Oh,
was evil
oh.
just now as I said it. And I hope you hear it, and I hope you don't ignore me. She's like you like front lines, don't you ignore me. The fighting and
Oh.
only your front lines, don't you ignore me. And he was ignoring her, kind of. She's like, I hope you hear me dying then. If you were gonna ignore me while I was the best thing at this party, you don't get to ignore me dying because I have to exercise the demons that you left behind. Like, you don't get to ignore that anymore.
Yeah. This is it's like or like an exile like here's a sign. you, I gave so many signs. Here's the
And she's like,
final sign.
since you didn't see any signs and say I never gave any, here's the final sign. And she continues, this is my favorite part of the song after the bridge. She continues, I hope you hear it, and I hope it's shitty in the black dog. I hope it sucks.
Yeah, the repetition of the I hope, she's doing it on purpose.
Yeah. And I hope it's shitty in the black dog. Yep.
Keep reading.
When someone plays the starting line and you jump up, but she's too young to know this song that was intertwined in the tragic fabric of our dreaming, because tail between your legs, you're leaving. And I still can't believe it because old habits die screaming. And she whispers that last part, and it is amazing. It's so good. It's so good.
Yeah.
Um,
No,
there's a lot going on
I
this
hope it's
last.
shitty in the Black Dog. I love that line. It is petty. It is angry. It is
Yeah.
like
And she
it's
low
like
key achieved her goal.
what did you say?
She achieved her goal
Yeah.
because by putting this, every single bar named the Black Dog is no longer safe. That's delightful.
Yeah.
It's gonna be shitty in the Black Dog forever.
Yeah.
Um, and I love that she's like, and I hope it's shitty. Like she's like, I hope you hear me dying, and I hope that's shitty for you. But also, I hope whatever date you're on, I hope it's terrible. I hope like the date you're on also sucks because she doesn't know this song.
Yeah. It
Also,
actually should ruin the date.
exactly.
I will say, the I hope it's shitty. It's like this chorus sounds like a curse, right? Like she is like doing a little mini curse on him.
And she's cursing him, tying him to the Black Dog, and being like, listen. And then not only does she tie him to the Black Dog, like cursing wise, she literally basically is like, you are the Black Dog because tail between your legs, you're leaving.
Yep.
You ran away.
Yeah.
Even if it was not literal, it's the fact that you ran away.
Like you didn't
And,
fight for this.
and also it could be like it also like in the context of this last thing, she's like after he jumps up, because she doesn't know the song, he leaves like a coward.
Yeah.
He leaves the Black Dog.
Yeah.
Because tail between your legs, you're leaving.
Yeah. And so let me go back to the sad, beautiful, tragic. I was always wondering if she would mash it up with this, but in any case, so in Sad, Beautiful, Tragic, the chorus is we had a beautiful magic love there. What a sad, beautiful, tragic love affair. So her mixing magic and tragic is not unusual. It is known, and also I think that's maybe partially why she has sang that song a lot on this tour, at least 3 times now, maybe two for sure because once was like in one of the Texas shows, I think, and at least once in the Europe leg. And so um, it's definitely got, if you listen to The Black Dog, you should listen to Sad, Beautiful, Tragic, and you'll get another version. And same thing here, right? In Sad, Beautiful, Tragic, we have this whole like distance, timing, breakdown, fighting, silence, the train runs off its tracks, kiss me, try to fix it, could you just try to listen? Hang up, give
Mhm.
up, for the life of us, we can't get back.
Exactly that tragic fabric of breathing, and also the switch from magic fabric to tragic fabric brings in to my mind the the theme that Taylor is obsessed with, and that is fate. And so she was like, all of our dreaming was always going to end like this, and she still can't believe it. I can't believe it,
Yeah.
and I still can't believe it, but it was always like it was fated. And she continued like as much as we thought she was grappling with fate on the main album, the anthology, she is fighting fate. She does not want these things to happen.
Yeah. Yeah. No,
Um,
totally. Like, and it's, and like, this is like the last image she has of him is the tail between your legs you're leaving, right? Like, this idea of like, you've gone. And then, and then the only other image she has of him now is this little dot walking into a
yep,
bar
yep. Because tail between your legs, you're
and
leaving.
going into a bar called the Black Dog.
This is also why I put this on like again, I put this on all too well level of like magic breakup song because this is so again, it is so universal while also so extremely specific that it has no choice but for everyone to be like, hold on, exactly, wait a minute.
Yeah. I will say, I do remember when we got the title of this track online, we were all like, "What is the Black Dog?" Right? We were like, "Is it, like?" There's like, and so I remember I tweeted, I think that it reminded me of Sherlock Holmes's Hound of the Baskervilles, like this idea of like the black dog, this giant supernatural creature that follows you around, which also got connected to I think depression. We were like, oh, like the black dog is like depression, is following you around, and then
Everybody's like, hey, what if it's this bar? And we were like, no, no, no. And then she was like, but
Granted, I mean, there's a reason why the bar is called the Black Dog. It might be based on, you know, this the Victorian image of like the large hound or something. But still, it was just it.
okay, we were not technically wrong about being haunted.
Yeah, yeah. I do. I mean, I do think like, you know, because words like the Black Dog, it's not super uncommon. You know, it's used and stuff. But also, I have appreciated though all of everyone's black dogs that they were posting on like Twitter or Instagram, and like I was like, oh, so cute.
No. But yeah, no, I would like to say that I do not think the haunting aspect is wrong because she is being haunted so much that she needs to be exercised, you know?
Yeah.
So, so there, but yes, the black dog is confirmed a bar. And all dog bars all have like they a lot of them have been like and they have like and I watch as you walk into some bar called the Black Dog like on their on their like windows or whatever and I'm like ooh they got a whole lot of free advertising.
Yeah. Yeah.
Pilgrimage spots.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it's yeah, and this is such going back to what you said about a universal song. Like this is very like I think this idea of like this partner being able to move on so quickly on especially with a younger ex and not remember her and then feeling like she wants to die because she's like this old she is been discarded and she is this habit that he has forgotten about is just it's just so
Yeah.
sad.
And I love how it goes from sad to progressively angrier. It's still sad. Then she gets pissed. She's mad, like by the end. And through all the yelling, she's like mad. And I like to imagine like the screaming. I'm like, whenever I hear that, I'm like, oh, I just need to throw something.
No, I do think it's so
Yeah.
cathartic. It's like
And I,
you said in All Too Well, even there, like right, that's also a very cathartic song. Like you call me up again just to break me like a promise, so casually cruel in the name of being honest. Like you just want to like yeah, rip something
there
off
was
the wall and throw it out the window.
being at the Eras tour and singing all too well, all 10 minutes of it cannot be replicated.
Yeah.
uh or just singing all too well 10-minute version with another person no matter what like there is something that happens there's something that's communicated that is like it's intangible and it's something that Taylor does really well and I think the Black Dog also is able to grab hold of this intangible like feeling of heartbreak and anger and like transmutate it into a song that you can sing and when you sing it with other people you just want to tear everything apart.
Nice. That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fantastic. Any final thoughts other than that?
um, Final thought. I've said it before. I love that the Black Dog goes right into I'm gonna get you back because after she has her like epiphany where she's like, I hope it's shitty. She's like, oh, I know how I can ensure it's shitty in the Black Dog. And she puts on her shortest skirt and heads over to the bar.
Yeah. And she's
It's
definitely
like
feeling a little crazy too. You know what I mean? Like she is not in the necessarily in the right frame of
I
mind.
think I think us opening up the anthology of like this moment of sadness, despair, and anger. And then we get into the anthology and it's like sadness, despair, anger, but also contemplation and thinking about how I got here.
Yeah.
And I have to deconstruct everything again. And I thought I successfully did that on Midnights.
Yeah. No. So we are going yeah, we're going to see a lot of collateral damage and damage in general. And yeah, we are so excited to go through the rest of these tracks with you and we even have some special surprises coming up for y'all. So make sure you're tuned in. Oh, we need an emoji.
Oh, we can't do a dog
Yeah.
because that is
It's a little
you we can't
obvious.
crucifix.
Wait, a what?
I said we can't. You know what we should do? We should do a red scarf emoji.
Oh, to just
That's
the connection
all
to all too
well.
well that you keep doing. I will say personally, just to add like controversy, because then it's like it makes people want to listen to the episode more. It's like I do think all too well is like everyone's like, oh, it's the new all too well. It is I don't think it's better. It's not better.
I think it's better.
It's,
But also,
see, here we go.
I,
If you are on Exquisite side, you could join Exquisite. You could be on my side. All Too Well is better. So
I think it's better than the regular version of All Too Well. I think I'm not going to put it against the 10-minute version because there's a lot of things about the 10-minute version that are like the fact that we waited like 10 years for it, this whole thing. I'm not going to put it against it. But it is
I
better
still
than
no. I don't think so.
it's better than the regular All Too
No,
Well. Listen,
no.
first, I believe a lot of songs are better than All Too Well, especially track fives. I was of the opinion that Dare Dawn was her best track five until So Long London came around. Wait, before we go, I had a thought. That part of the things that I think is really fun about the Black Dog and shows Taylor's growth that she's a grown woman now. And also her growth of like, I don't need to forgive to heal and I can still be mad is that she used to like, do you remember in Last Kiss where she's like, I hope it's nice where you are?
Yes.
Now it's like shitty. And I think that is great. You don't need to forgive to move on.
Oh my gosh. So it went from hope it's nice where you are to I hope it's shitty in the Black Dog.
Exactly. And I understand her. I hope your life sucks. You hurt my feelings. I need your life to suck for a little bit.
Oh my gosh. That is such a good way to end. I love that. Like goodbye.
Yeah. Bye.
I'm out of here. Like see you later. All right. Well, on that note, I hope you guys stuck around till the end because that was an amazing thought from Last Kiss. But please follow us on social medias. Also, Alef Vernon, the person who did our art, is no longer on Twitter because Twitter/X has been banned from Brazil. In Brazil, excuse me. I guess from Brazil too. Anyway, so if you follow on Instagram, Alef Vernon Art, we'll put it in the show notes. And once again, we do have a tip jar open, so if you want to contribute for us to get little treats, please feel free. If not, just honestly, the best treats are you guys commenting and responding to hashtag. Oh, we're doing a new hashtag now, right?
Are we doing like is hashtag
We're doing a new hashtag because we were like, oh,
if you follow us on Twitter, you'll see us use the
yeah,
hashtags. I
whatever
can't
the
remember.
new hashtag our intern, social media intern uses will be the one. So please follow along. This is just to help us to like keep track of what we're doing. So it's gonna be something anthology related.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Okay.
So thank you once again, and we will see you guys online. Bye.